Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 17 hearings covering 14 different cases of non-payment of rent and termination of tenancies. These cases cover a wide range of reasons and excuses why tenants haven't paid their rent, including claims of inheritance, refusal to maintain the property, surprise rental increases, death of an employer, threats of a federal lawsuit against the judge, and a whole lot more. Let's watch.
All right, thank you. Wilson White versus Kiera Dallas.
Carissa Gazzari appearing for plaintiff.
Hi.
Hello, Ms. Dallas. All right. Last time I think we were here, you were to pay $685. Did you get that paid?
No, but let me tell you why. And then but let me tell you why. It is a reason. All right. So remember I told you I had the case going on where that guy is stalking me, that teacher guy, because I have a sexual assault case going. He's supposed to have a tether on, but he's called me and he's emailed me since this going on. So he came, I got paranoid. I called the police because somebody came up to the job with a gun. Because I did that, they literally fired me. I know it gotta be some law against that, but I was paranoid and I was just trying to protect myself. But I got fired from that job. And I'm sorry, but I was scared. But I did get hired this morning and I was only able to pay $300, half of it, because I do have a car that I pay a car note on. And I told you I just got a time belt done in that car because they said the engine was going to be shot. So that was in November. So I just got the car back and then I got fired for calling the police because somebody came up to the job with a gun. I didn't think I was going to get fired for calling the police, or I promise you I would have never called the police. I would never called the police knowing that I had this going on. But I did that and they fired me. Anyways, however, I did get a job this morning. And they get paid, but they only get paid every 2 weeks. I don't know. I can ask for help. I don't really have anybody. I told you I don't have anybody, but I didn't mean to get fired. I would never call the police if I would have known that I was going to get fired, or I would have paid the whole thing. But I got fired for calling the police. I would have never called. I asked the police too. I asked the police on the phone.
No, we got that. You would have never called. I got that part. Did you say you paid $300?
I did pay. I was only able to pay half because I do have a card note that's $300 too. My check was only $600.
Okay. I get the card note. I'm just trying to figure out what you paid the landlord.
Oh, I paid them $300. I was only able to give them half because I didn't want to lose my car, and it did end up getting a job. I didn't want them to.
I know. Miss Dallas, stay with me here. Focus. You paid $300 to the landlord?
I did. That was all I could do.
Okay. When did you pay that?
I paid that Wednesday because the lady, we get the checks on Tuesday, right? But she said, because it's my last check. Listen, she said, because it's your last check. Listen, for real. She said, because it's your last check, it's not going to be direct deposit. You got to physically come up here and get it. She told me that on Tuesday. So I had to go up there on Wednesday. She said that. She said, we don't do direct deposit on your last check.
All right. Is that?
I mean, that's what she told me. There's nothing I could do. I didn't want to cut up on her. I thought I called the police on her establishment. You know what I'm saying? I just left out with my head down and I went home. I mean, there's nothing I could do. So I had to pay Wednesday morning.
What?
It was a lot. I'm sorry. This happens to me.
Okay.
I can't do nothing but laugh about it. I just want to cry all the time, but I don't.
Okay. All right. Ms. Dallas?
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
I did talk to my advocate, though. I'm sorry.
I was just enjoying a little bit of quiet, but that didn't last long. Miss Dallas. Miss Dallas, take a breath. Stop for a minute. Okay, please. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't know that that's going to help. Miss Gazzari.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have the $300?
I do. I show that $300 was paid on January 18th, and the balance is currently $1,288. That includes the $218 in court costs. The plaintiff is requesting a judgment today.
No, please don't request a judgment, because like I said, this is really not my fault. The only thing I can try to get some help. I could try to ask for $300. I don't know. Maybe give me another week to ask for another $300. This is not my fault. I even asked the Wayne County advocate for help. You know what I'm saying? This is not my fault. This is really not my fault.
Okay. All right. Ms. Dallas, just hold on a minute, okay? What was that amount again, Ms.
$1,288.
Like I can try to call the Wayne County Advocate or something, but nobody calls me back from down there because they said that they would help. But none of the advocates called. They said they had a new officer in charge. Nobody calls me back. They said that they would help because they let him out. They should have never let him out. You know, they should have left him in there. He already destroyed my life for half of my life. And now because I got paranoid, I know I shouldn't have called the police when I seen that gun, but that was all I could do. He already took, he been doing this to me since I've been 12 years old, and now I'm about to lose my face over the same stuff. I'm trying not to break down, but this is not fair. This is not fair. I'm gonna turn my camera off. Please give me a minute.
Ms. Dallas, let me let you compose yourself. I'm going to pass this matter and we'll come back to it. Okay. Wilson White versus Dallas.
Carissa Gazzari appearing for plaintiff.
All right. There's about 1288 owed. Ms. Dallas, you don't have a mechanism by which you can get that paid off?
No. I just work. That's all I do. I just go to work. The only thing I can do is go to a strip club after this. If you put that in, that's the only thing that I can't do is look up the nearest strip club. That's the only thing I can do. I don't have nothing. I don't have nobody. The only reason why I was out here, I don't know. If I would have known that was gonna happen for me calling the police, I would have never tried to protect everybody at work.
Ms. Dallas, here's what I'm going to do. You need to, I'm not, and again, given what you said, I'm not suggesting anything to you, but maybe go to your current employer, see if you can get an advance, something along those lines, but I'm going to give you a shot to try to do something. I realize part of the circumstances that you've relayed. So I'm going to adjourn it out 1 week to 11 a.m. And you need to try to chip into as substantially as you can in that 1288. And then maybe you can get yourself into a payment plan and then get yourself on even ground. Okay? So I'm going to give you a shot, but I'm at the end of my rope. If I don't get something, then I'm going to have to give him a judgment. And maybe it's be delaying the inevitable, but I'll give you a chance. You pulled through last time. So, all right. Okay, Miss Alice?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Wilson White.
Wilson White versus Kiera Dallas.
Hey guys.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jay Swing for the plaintiff.
Hello, Miss. All right. Where are we on this case? Are we at the same spot we were last week?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I only owe $48.
Well,
And I have that now, but I just need $7.47 for the convenience fee to process it. And I'll have that in an hour. I DoorDash all week.
whoa, hold on. Mr. Fink, you still have the 15 or 1288 that's owed?
1288, Your Honor. As of yesterday, when did she say she paid this?
Sir, I had to wait for DoorDash to process.
I just asked when, ma'am.
I'm sorry, sir, but yes, I paid it this morning at 7:35 a.m. I paid $1,000.
Okay, so hold it. How did you pay that, Miss Dallas?
I paid it through my bank account on my debit card. Kiera Dallas.
Okay,
I paid it
but
today. And the other half is
how did you get the money to the landlord?
I paid it through their website, the wilsonwhite.com website.
The portal?
Yes, sir.
All right. So here's what I want you to do, Miss Dallas. I need you to wait for a moment. I'm going to get through some of Mr. Fink's cases and let him check and see if it's paid.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, and you're gonna, did you call already or you?
Yep.
Oh,
Text
okay.
message. She paid everything but a $50 late fee.
Court does recall the case of Wilson White versus Dallas.
James Fink for
Hello.
the plaintiff.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, Miss Dallas, you paid everything but a $50 late fee?
Yes, sir. I
When
do
are you
have
gonna pay?
$50 today. I'm door dashing. That's what I've been doing all week to come up with this money. So as soon as I go outside, when we get off of here, I'm gonna go do a dash and I'm gonna pay that $7. It's $7.47 to make a payment online. So I just need to go. I didn't get to go outside Thursday because of the snowstorm. So I just need to go out there one more time.
Okay.
Sorry about last week too. I was scared. Sorry.
Yeah, that was something else, Miss Dallas. I don't know what that was about.
It was a
So-
blow up. I was scared. It was a lot. Not to mention, I had somebody pass away yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
That's
well, I'm
crazy, right? I told you stuff be happening to me back to back to back.
Okay.
But I heard you when you was
All right. So I guess what we'll do, Mr. Fink, one of the things we were doing is last week, I think your office was dismissing these cases, but not waiving that.
I'm in on that, Judge. We'll do a dismissal.
All right. So Ms. Dallas, make sure you get over there, get the $50 paid. They're going to dismiss the case, but they're not waiving that $50. So you got to get that paid and then it's done. Okay?
okay.
All
All right, thank you.
And if you ever come back, don't act like that again.
That was one blow up.
Okay,
I
fine.
heard
I'm just saying.
before I go, I do want to say this. I heard you at the end when you was like, I highly doubt she go get it. That's why I got out there. I said, oh, okay. I heard you.
And I was right, because I always am. All right.
You said you highly doubt I'll get it. So that's why I went and got it.
Your Honor, I have a
you.
1:30 in front of Judge Valvo, and then I'll be to see you at 3:30 or after.
Yeah. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, thank you. Miss Milky is here.
Yes.
Okay. Court recalls the case of Spice Tree versus Olivia Milky.
Mark Landa for the plaintiff.
Where is she?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, Miss Milky. Okay, where are we on this case, folks?
Judge, I thought that we were pretty close to a resolution on the case. Ms. Milky had proposed a dollar amount to resolve it, and my client had accepted that amount, waiving a little over $2,000 in rent on the rental ledger. But as of about 40 minutes ago, when I got an email from Ms. Milky, that appears to have been scuttled.
That appears to have been what? I didn't get the last word.
Scuttled. She appears, as best as I can tell from her email, that she is withdrawing that that proposal that she had previously proposed.
Okay, Ms. Milky, what's going on?
So I sent it at 6 a.m. But I wish that I had taken all of the money and hired a lawyer, because ultimately they never did the repairs the entire time that I lived here. Obviously, we're way past that. I, wish that the money could even be put towards like legal aid or like some kind of service, because this whole thing has been an entire mess. There is $12,105 in escrow. So that's $1,345 times 9 months. Given that, they're not going to make the
Well,
repairs.
hold on, Miss Milky. Did you propose to them a dollar amount?
Yes, and that included the late fees, but they really don't
Hold on.
need the late
And when you
fees.
proposed to them the dollar amount, they accepted it.
Yes, because I thought that they would allow me to renew my lease. It was conditional. They did not. They're not allowing me to renew it. They are forcing me to.
Okay, so is that the issue? The issue really is not necessarily the dollar amount, but the fact of a lease renewal.
Yeah, I have to stay in this place where they haven't finished the repairs for $1,800 when it should be $1,345 a month.
Okay, I'm not following. There was a dollar amount that was agreed upon by the parties. Then you're saying you wanted your lease renewed.
Correct. I thought
When
that
is your lease up?
it was up in August, and they said at that time that they were going to renew it, no problem. But of course, that was not in writing. That was verbally over the phone. And so when September came around,
So let me ask you this. If you get the lease renewal, are we done?
I actually, because they gave me no options, I'm moving out of county because this whole court thing has really screwed me over for all apartments in the entire county. February 20th.
So now you don't need a lease renewal.
Correct, because they gave me no options.
Okay, so why are we not then settling on the dollar amount?
They can take the $12,105 and I guess, I don't know.
Okay, what was the amount that was offered?
I was including the late fees of 50, which was.
I need a total amount because my understanding is there was a total amount that they claimed due, that you saw as due. You guys came to a dollar amount. What was that dollar amount?
Let me see. The dollar amount proposed was $12,565.
Then if that's what was agreed upon and there was going to be and you don't need the lease renewal now, that's what you're going to need to pay.
Okay.
It's really as simple as that. So when are you going to pay that?
I guess today. And
Judge, Ms. Milky indicated she put over $12,000 into court escrow, so what she's gonna have to pay out of.
Well, it's in court. That's true. It is in court escrow, but we have. Okay, the 1345 was paid out. Have you've received that, right? That
Yes,
was paid
that's
out back in
exactly.
August.
Yeah.
And so what I have now in escrow is 10,000. I have in escrow $10,760 in escrow.
Okay, that'll leave a balance from the $12,565 of $1,805.
And Ms. Milky, when can the $1,805 be paid?
that's not accurate. I have posted the
Okay, so
The
here's
amount
what,
in escrow is not accounting for the additional 1345 that they took.
so your number that you gave me included the 1345.
For the amounts that I need to pay.
Yes.
So the amount that I need to pay was 12,565. And currently there is 12,105 in escrow. Well, minus the amount they took out.
Okay. So in essence, what you've done is you've included that in that amount that you offered, a portion that's already been paid out of court escrow.
Yeah, it's included. I posted it in escrow. They should have never taken it because they never made a single.
They didn't just take it. I ordered it paid out as this case was proceeding back in August.
Correct, but they did not make the repairs. And this was the second time around because I paid over 4,000 the first time they tried to do this in March and April.
Well, I don't know anything about that because this case
Basically, they take the
didn't
money.
start until
and
August. So
they-
I don't know anything about that and don't really want to.
They take the money, and as soon as they get the money, they're done. They do not make any repairs.
Okay, fine, but you're moving. I'm just trying to get a dollar amount that the parties can resolve, can be done with each other. When are you moving?
February 20th. So I will post the difference of 460 to escrow. And then I think that, and then I'll sign the conditional dismissal for the 12,565.
So Landau, what do you want to do in this case? The amount, so we'll just start from this position. The amount that Ms. Milky offered included the amount that's already been paid to the landlord back in August. So that's going to be one distinction. I don't know what this 400 is.
It was $50 late fees for 9 months.
All right, look.
Your Honor, could I go into a breakout room with Miss Milky and my client?
Absolutely.
And resolve it?
This is your last case, right?
Yes.
Throw them into a breakout room. I think that's it for you for this block, counsel. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Court. Yes, court recalls the case Spice Tree versus Olivia Milky.
Plaintiff?
All right, you guys went into a breakout room. What happened?
I am pleased to advise the court that we have reached the terms of the conditional dismissal. I prepared it up. I emailed it over to Miss Milky and she's already signed it and sent it back to me. Would you like me to put the terms on record, Your Honor?
Please do.
The total owing as of the February 20 move out date, so this is going to include the February prorated rent, is $15,733 plus $160 in cost. Total is $15,893. Ms. Milky will pay $460 by 5:30 today in a money order or cashier's check to the plaintiff management office. The escrow of the $10,760 that's currently in the court escrow, and I do want to confirm that that is the dollar amount currently in escrow.
That's what I had.
Good. Shall be released to the plaintiff, payable to the plaintiff, and mailed to plaintiff's counsel. And Ms. Milky will vacate and turn in keys by February 20. If she complies with those terms, then the remaining balance of that $15,893 will be waived. So that's about a $4,000 waiver by my client. And Ms. Milky understands that if she doesn't pay that $460 today, and if she doesn't move out and turn in keys by February 20, she can be held liable for that 4,000 plus difference. So she understands that she's got to comply strictly with those terms.
Ms. Milky, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
All right. You do have 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason or some confusion on your part regarding this, you'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
And you understand, though, that while you have that time period to file it, it doesn't mean that the court would grant your request.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I'll mark this file COD order to follow.
Thank you, Judge. I'm just hitting the send button now.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great weekend.
You do the same. Sir. Century 21 versus Andrew Harvey.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for the record, Carissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Hello, Mr. Harvey. Okay, how much
Hello,
do
sir.
we have owing?
$761, same balance as last week.
I paid $100 last night. Unfortunately, I was working for my dad, and he passed away from a heart attack on Wednesday.
Oh,
And he was supposed to pay me yesterday, so I scraped together as much as I could to pay as much as I could. I'm not really sure what to do right now.
Okay.
I had made enough in the last week to pay off everything, but I don't know how to obtain that money now.
Mr. Harvey. First of all, the court's condolences to you and your family. All right.
Thank you, sir.
And the other thing is, you probably have a whole lot of stuff going on in your mind, and I got to give you credit for even showing up today.
Yeah,
right?
It's a bummer.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, because I've been dealing with you for a little bit here, and you always come through on what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to get what I could together.
All right. Listen, Ms. Kazari, if under the circumstances, you can see if your client will work with, his balance isn't that high, but I'm going to, over the objection on the plan, I'm going to adjourn it out a week. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And I'm hoping that
11.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
January 27th, 2023 at 11.
11 a.m. Okay.
Yes. See
Thank
what you
sir.
can do.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm hoping.
Okay. Okay. See what you can do in between then. More importantly, just take a breath a little bit. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All righty.
All right. Hope you have a good day.
You too.
Yes, sir.
All right. Century 21 versus Andrew Harvey.
I am here, sir. Andrew Harvey checking in.
All right. Okay, Mr. Harvey.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Fink, how much is owing?
$796.
So we got
I paid $512 last night. But apparently the 100 that I told you I paid the week before, something happened and it didn't clear. So I said I would pay $400 to you this week. So instead I didn't know about it until this morning. So instead I paid 512, which should be all of
Okay.
the rent that's due.
Hold on.
And I still owe
Har-
the
Mr. Harvey, hold
the
on.
court fees. Yes, sorry, sir.
All right, just hold on, Mr. Harvey, because you had a lot going on last week.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
still trying to figure out how to there's a lot of money that's getting confusing right now, and
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure how to
Mr.
work with
Say,
it.
when did you pay the 512?
I paid the 512 and it was roughly like 5:30 last night.
Okay.
I
You
can
don't show-
look it up on my phone.
Hold
right
on,
now
hold on,
if-
Mr. Harvey. Stop.
Okay.
Mr. Fink, you don't have that payment, do you?
No, but to answer his question about the 100, it was NSF.
Okay.
Yeah, that was I didn't
Okay,
realize.
I don't care. It bounced.
Yeah.
It did. So
But
the 512, how'd you pay the 512? Not by check, did you?
that was account information, so routing and bank number.
An ACH.
So-
Okay.
And
So,
yeah,
Mr. Fink, is there a way to check that one? Because, I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
can
to, unless you have a better way. Mr. Harvey, please just be quiet.
Mhm.
Mr. Fink,
I
or how do you
suppose
want to do this?
I'd like to take a judgment with the condition that if he pays it by the redemption date, we'll set it aside.
Okay. I might normally do that in the case. Mr. Harvey, that last week when I was saying he had a difficult time, he lost his father last week.
I'm sorry,
last
Your
time.
Honor. Why don't we
Okay.
come back next week? And it'll include February rent, but it'll give him a chance to get paid down and have a plan for February.
May I
Mr.
speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Harvey.
I'm still waiting on like probate court, I guess. I'm not really sure how all this stuff works
I
because my
know,
dad
I
didn't have a
know,
will.
I know, but
So it's a new thing, but I understand that I
okay, let me ask you
you know,
this.
you gotta pay your bills.
Okay. How much is his rent? Monthly rent?
1,200, it looks like.
1,200.
Okay. There was 796. You said you paid 512.
I paid 512, which was the full January rent plus not the coverage of the insufficient funds, but I have that 135 to cover that difference of what I had paid in our last court hearing.
Mr. Harvey.
So
Mr.
I can
Harvey.
pay that. Yes, sir.
When are you going to have the 284?
The 284 I could have by Monday. I just started a new job.
Okay, I don't need to
for
know
my
why.
uncle. So
I don't need to know why.
I understand. I should be able to have that.
Just
by
stop.
Monday.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Okay.
I'll issue the judgment for the 796. Defendant said he's paid the 512. There'll be $284 balance on that. If that's paid by Monday, which is the 30th, then the court will set aside the judgment. I won't enter the judgment and be dismissed. Otherwise, I'll enter the judgment. on it.
Okay, so that means by Monday the 284 is in, and I am clear
The
to
five,
just
the 512 has to be good, plus the 284. If
yes,
that's in,
and then I'm just obligated to February rent, and we're
you'll be
clear. I
obligated
don't have
February
to
rent
do
anyway.
another. I don't have to do another court case or anything.
Nope, I'm done. So done.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I make sure I've got this? I'm gonna send in the judgment. On Tuesday, I will notify the court if he hasn't paid. And if he has paid, I will send in a dismissal.
Yes.
Okay, and how can I ask? Like if I pay through the app, like will that take? Because it takes a couple days to clear, or do I need to like? If I don't pay it, like
I can't.
like do I
answer all-
have to that day to pay?
Mr. Harvey, I can't
I'm sorry.
answer all these questions.
Okay,
If
for
you
sure.
have to take it
I'll
down
call
to
them.
your landlord, if you have to take it down to your landlord in cash to make sure that you're where you need to be, you need to do that.
Okay, all right, I understand, sir. Thank you.
Shield Rentals versus Brianna Thomas.
I'm here,
This
Good
is a writ
afternoon.
hearing.
Your Honor.
All right. And you set this for a writ hearing. Substantial amount was paid, $925.15. Mr. Fantera, has any amount been paid in addition to that?
Yeah, she's paid another $600. Let me briefly give you the history on this. We took a judgment on November 15th. And after court, I agreed to $400 a week until she got caught up. She made one payment of $380 that day. She made another payment of $300. Then she called me and said, "This is too difficult. I can't be making payments every week." And I said to her, "Okay, just pay your balance by the end of the year, by December 31st. We didn't get any more payments from her until December 29th, when we got another payment for $245, which is and that amount sums up what I disclosed on the writ. And then when she got served with the writ, I guess when she got served with the notice to appear today, she contacted the client and said, "I can pay $600 every 2 weeks." My concern is her balance is $2,900. Her rent's $710. Her rent is $775. So even paying $600 every 2 weeks is going to take her 7 months to get caught up. And I've already made 2 deals with her, which she has not kept. So
That's okay. Can I say something?
Sure.
Hello? It's kind of like staticky. I don't know if you can hear me. But
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
At the time, I did not have a really good paying job. They weren't giving me the hours that I needed. Now I'm in a situation where I have a really good paying job and I'm able to get the money. I just need the time. I can't. I'm trying to get more time so I don't have an eviction on my record.
are you planning on
but
moving
ma'am-
out, Ms. Thomas?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Are you planning on moving out?
Yes. I just need until April. That's when my lease is up.
Your Honor, my concern is that even by the time she gets us caught up, she's even if we don't do anything else, and that she pays off the judgment, she's gonna owe 3 or 4 months of new rent, and yeah, that's I don't think there's much I can do with this one.
I am trying. Like I'm giving as much as I have.
Okay, but ma'am, and I guess this becomes the problem because I try to work with people. I'm probably sure, as you've seen, try to give people an opportunity to do it. And I know Mr. Fantera and by what he said on the record, is generally how he tries to do this, where he's giving you an opportunity and you haven't come through.
That's because of the job that I had at the time. I have a much better job now and I'm able to make these payments, but I only get paid every 2 weeks. I can't do every week.
Ma'am, I'm hearing you.
And like,
Let me
there's
ask you this,
issues in this
ma'am,
unit as well.
ma'am.
Yeah,
How much has she paid this month, Mr. Frater?
$600, Your Honor. She paid, $600 on the 12th. And that would be the only money she's paid that's not already disclosed on the writ that you've got.
are you seeing the transactions on Venmo? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, we got a $400 and a $200 payment on the 12th.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay,
It will
so
be
ma'am,
another one I get paid this next in this coming up pay period. I'm gonna send another 800.
so you're gonna pay 800 by the 26th?
Yeah, I think that's when I get paid around there.
All right. Here's going to be the problem, ma'am. Okay, I'm going to adjourn this out to the 27th, 2023, 10 a.m. You've got this writ hanging over your head, and quite frankly, I probably should sign it today, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to at least try to do something.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
800 by the 26th.
And that will be deposited. I will be sending that via Venmo.
And then I'll take another look at it when we come back next week. But ma'am, I can't promise you anything because you're not catching up.
I'm not, but I got a better job now, so I feel like I can, especially the hours that I'm working.
Ma'am, I know, I hear you. Okay? Believe me, I hear you. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't even be giving you a chance today.
Mhm.
But you got to appreciate the position that you put yourself in with this writ hanging over your head at this point, not following through with the payment plan that Mr. Fantera gave you. And now you're asking for another payment plan, which carries us into another month, and there's going to be a problem. So that's where we're at.
The payment
But I'll
plan
deal
that we
without,
have-
ma'am.
Yes.
Problem is you keep talking and you're making it worse.
Mm,
I'm giving you this break for a week, okay?
Okay.
Get the 800 in.
Okay.
We'll deal with it on the 27th. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Court calls the case Chelsea Courtyard versus Green Age LLC.
Good morning, Madam Interpreter. You're in front of the Honorable J. Cedric Simpson out of the 14A District Court, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn, Ms. Cho? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Korean and from Korean into English in the manner now before the court, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Interpreter.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of Chelsea Courtyard versus Co. and Green Age LLC.
판사님께서 민사 사건 첼시 코트야드 LLC 대 군코 사건을 부르겠습니다.
Mr. Ruder, state your appearance.
Alex Ruder for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Mr. Ruder, 자기 소개를 해주세요. 그래서 Alex Ruder, 그 신청자를 대표합니다.
Mr. Cole, please state your name.
Mr. Cole, 선생님 이름을 얘기해 주세요. 그게 안 들려요.
Okay, where are we on this? This is plaintiff's motion for entry of the order of eviction.
Hello, Hello?
Hello, Mr. Coe.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
들립니까?
예, 저는 들려요.
Yes, we can, Mr. Coe.
제가 들립니다.
예, 예. My name is Kyun-ko, Green Age LLC. Do resolved. Okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
All right, this is plaintiffs. Can we hang on one moment, folks? Take a break.
잠깐만 기다려주세요.
Court's going to stand in brief recess.
잠깐 쉬는 시간을 갖겠습니다.
네.
Am I off?
No.
Am I good?
Yeah, you agree.
I am.
Okay.
All right, my apologies, folks.
죄송합니다.
All right, this is plaintiff's motion for entry, the application in order of eviction following dismissal of an appeal and release of the escrow. Is that correct, Mr. Reuter?
그래서 지금 이거는 제안이 요청이 들어왔는데 그것은 그 신청자께서 이 사건을 없애달라고 요청을 해서 왔습니다. 이게 맞습니까?
네.
That's correct, Your Honor.
네, 맞습니다.
Mr. Coe, is there any reason I shouldn't issue the order of eviction in this case?
Yeah.
그래서 미스터 코 그 쫓아내는 거를 허락하지 않아야 할 이유가 있습니까?
예, 잠깐만요.
Wait a minute, please.
The plaintiff가 두 가지 이슈를 제기를 했는데 첫 번째가 escrow.
잠깐만요. The plaintiff issued two issues, and first one is.
The first is escrowed release of escrowed fund.
First one was the release of the escrow fund.
The second is entry of eviction order.
And the second one is entry of the eviction order.
Yeah, first, about the release of escrowed fund. I say, please release the fund immediately. I agree.
The first one is the release of the escrow fund, and please release the escrow fund immediately. I agree.
About the second is the entry of eviction order.
The second
I'll
one
say,
was entry of the eviction order, and I say.
This case started. This case 이 민사 사건은 1921년 가을부터 시작을 해가지고 첫 번째 판결이 2023년 11월 3일 날 내려졌어요. Hello?
This civil case started in fall of 2021, and the first decision was made in the 2023.
November 3, 2021. Yeah.
November 23, 2021.
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
Yeah. 2021년. 그때 재판장님께서는 연방 헌법에 위배하여 판결을 내렸는데 그 판결이 잘못되었어요. 그래서 이는 페더럴 코트의 제소 사유가 돼요. 제 의견으로는. 그 다음 여기까지 먼저 통역해 주세요.
At the time, the decision that was made was against the
연방헌법, Federal Constitution.
The federal Constitution, in my opinion, and I think it is a case that can be brought to the federal court.
한마디 빠졌어요.
Well, Mr. Coe, then if you take it to the federal court, take it to the federal court. I'm not going to hear any argument on whether or not the court's decision was a proper decision. I believe that it was. Your appeal was dismissed.
Yeah.
그래서 만약 페더럴 코트에 연방정부에 가져가고 싶으시면은 연방정부로 가져가세요. 그렇지만은 제가 이 사건에 대해서는 더 이상 듣고 싶지 않습니다.
그리고 제가 할 얘기는 할게요. 어찌됐든 간에.
But anyhow, I would like to say what I want to say.
그리고 이빅션 오더가 오늘 엔터가 되면은 그 데미지가 연방 법원이 요구하는 제소를 위한 최소 손해액 75,000불을 상회하기 때문에 연방 법원에 제소할 수가 있어요.
So if the eviction order is completed today, the damage will be $75,000.
예. 그리고 오늘 에빅션 오더가 엔터되면 페더럴 코트에 제소되는 것을 동의하는 것으로 간주합니다. 그리고 이때 재판장님도 디펜던트가 될지 몰라요.
And if the eviction order will be made, then I would take it as to make a case, appeal on the federal court, and in that case, Your Honor, judge can become a defendant.
그리고
Take your best shot. All right.
자, 아직 남았어요.
많이 잘 해보세요.
네. 만약 페더럴 코트의 제소에 동의하지 않거나 좀 더 생각할 시간이 필요하면은 판결을 연기해 주시기 바랍니다. 이 경우
Mr. Coe, as they say where I grew up, if you're going to make me a defendant and you're going to come at me, you better bring it.
만약 저에게 저를 대해서 항의하고 싶으시면 하세요.
예. 그리고 오늘 판결을 연기해 주시면 잠깐만요.
Mr. Reuter, how much is owing on this account?
Mr. Reuter, 이 얼마를 더 내셔야 됩니까, 이분이?
I believe the court is holding escrow payments from August. It was a straight possession judgment though, so no damages. But we have requested the release of those escrow funds along with an entry of the order of eviction.
All right.
그래서 데미지는 없고 그렇지만 그 escrow 그 펀드를 릴리스하기를 원하고 그리고 eviction order를 내기를 원합니다.
그리고 잠깐만요.
But please wait.
만약 판결을 연기해 주시면 민사소송에 있어서 당사자 합의 최우선 원칙에 따라 기존의 판결과 무관하게 랜로드하고 협상을 제기할 거예요.
But if you grant a delay on this matter, then we will I will make a deal with the plaintiff.
당사자 합의 최우선 원칙을 꼭 말씀해 주세요.
The
mutual agreement between
mutual
defendant
agreement with two different parties.
그리고 오늘 eviction order를 내리는 것도 재판장님 권한이고 판결을 어전하는 것도 재판장 권한입니다. 저는 모든 경우에 준비가 되어 있으며 나 프리퍼런스는 제가 원하는 것은 어저닝 판결을 연기해 주는 겁니다.
The right to order have the order for eviction order or to postpone or have adjournment is up to the judge.
Adjourning. My preference is adjourning
But
the decision.
I would like to have it adjourned.
Judge, just for the record, two things. We are neither inclined nor interested in entertaining any sort of offer from Mr. Coe. That's number one. Number two, I had mentioned that there are no damages. I meant with respect to the judgment that was issued, no damages were issued along with that. There are certainly damages from prior judgments along with the attorney fees that my client has incurred in this very long, never-ending story.
제가 두 가지를 얘기하고 싶은데 그거는 제가 저희 쪽에서는 미스터 코랑 협상하고자 하는 그런 건이 전혀 없고요. 그리고 또 두 번째는 뭐 별로 데미지가 없습니다. 저번에는 그 변호사 비용이 들었지만은 지금은 그게 없습니다.
하여튼 이빅션 하게 되면은 저는 가게를 비즈니스를 잡아야 되기 때문에 저 입장에서는 저는 데미지를 받게 돼요.
So, but if the eviction order is granted, then because I have a business, I will have a damage on my side.
그리고 그 금액이 75,000불을 넘어가요.
And the amount will exceed $75,000.
The court is ready to rule. Having heard the argument of the parties on the plaintiff's motion, there is no disagreement that the escrow should be released. There is $19,173 in escrow that is to be released to the plaintiff immediately. As to the order of eviction, I would first state that the court will not be threatened in terms of its rulings. You can go ahead, Madam Interpreter.
그래서 지금 판결을 내겠습니다. 그래서 신청자에게 그 에스크로를 내시기 바랍니다. 그 금액이 19,173불이고 그리고 두 번째는 그런 eviction 하는 거에 대해서 그렇게 법원에서는 협박을 받지 않겠습니다. 그래서 그렇습니다.
The court does believe that it would be proper to issue an order of eviction. The defendant has had his opportunity to appeal this court's decision, and that has been dismissed.
그래서 이 판사님께서는 그 판결을 냈는데
잠깐만요. 저 잠깐 그 전에 한 가지만 말씀드릴게요. 한 가지만 말씀드릴게요.
eviction order를 내고 그리고 그것을 항소하고 싶으시면 항소를 하십시오.
The order of eviction is signed, and I will await, I guess, my federal papers. Thank you.
그래서 그 명령은 사인했고 그리고 그 페더럴 코트에서의 그 페이퍼를 받도록 기다리겠습니다.
Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Yep. Thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Court does call the case. BS&J Real Estate versus Stuart Whitney and Linda Whitney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Corey McCord on behalf of the plaintiff, BSJ Real Estate.
You going to send me federal papers too?
No, Your Honor, I'm not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just. These tenants are not present. Would you like to take it to full counsel? Estate of Joseph Tucson versus Lene Tucson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Taylor appearing on behalf of the state of Joseph Tucson plaintiff. I'm standing in for Robert McCoy.
All righty. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Loaning Tucson here.
All right. In this case, let me just first state out that the court had received a rather lengthy email, went through it in detail from Judge Outside's court, which was handling the estate. As Miss Tucson had raised certain issues regarding this property, particularly had raised the issue that the property had been bequeathed somehow to her from the decedent. The information that the court has is that that is not the case. Further, it was indicated in the communications that the personal representative, Lee Tucson, the personal representative, I think it's Roland Tucson,
Yes, Your Honor.
is permitted to act with reference to that real estate. And so the primary issue that had come before this court, the primary issue that was raised was the authority to act. The court is convinced that this personal representative, has the right to act to evict. And further, absent something else, I don't see that there is a claim in this case to your continued presence in the premises, Ms. Tucson. Is there anything you'd like to tell the court, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. I was back when I went in front of Judge Outside, I had a lawyer by the name of Thomas Langen at the time. And he was supposed to get my signature authenticated from my granddad, the letter that my granddad said if anything happened to him, the house would be mine. And my signature was never authenticated. Back in December, I paid $2,500 to get my signature, the signature that my granddad put on the document authenticated. And I'm still in the middle of the process of that for them to discover it out. If it is in fact his signature, and in the proceeding of court, Judge Ozai, I have it on recording. She said that if it is in fact his signature, she will grant me ownership of the property. But if it isn't his signature, she wouldn't. And when we went to court in October, they never did a signature analysis. So she just went on and made her order. But they told me that they did send it off to signature analysis to get it tested, but they never did. And not only that, Judge, I've been living in this house for over 4 years. My grandfather put me in this house before he passed away. I live in this house with my children. I didn't put over $10,000 in repairs on fixing the houses. I've been paying the property taxes all up until last year when they tried to evict me. And everything else is, there's no foreclosure on the house, there's no lien. Again, these are my grandfather brothers who are trying to evict me from the house. And they know I don't have anywhere to go. They know I have kids. And I don't think that my granddad would put me in the house for when he died for me to be evicted and put out on the streets. Like, I put so much money into the house on repairs alone. I mean, like, I don't understand.
Ms. Tucson, I understand everything that you're saying, but the fundamental issue was whether or not Lee Tucson, as the personal representative, had the authority to act. I've given you the opportunity to bring this matter before the probate court, whether it be by way of some signature authenticating the your grandfather's signature on some document conveying the property, to challenging the personal representative. All of those opportunities have been presented or were able to be presented to the probate court. The probate court has indicated to me that Mr. Tucson has the authority to act and has the authority to proceed with this eviction. Given all of the circumstances, I don't find that there's any issue that this court could try that would be within my purview, because everything that you raised is an issue that has to be raised at the probate court. So there would not be anything for this court to try in the case. And as such, I'm going to grant a judgment to the plaintiff for possession of the premises.
Is there any way that you can give, is there any way that you can give me time to find somewhere to go? Like, my kids are in school, I don't have nowhere to go. Like, I don't just have anywhere that I could just pick up and move all my stuff to.
I understand
Is
that.
there any way that you can give me at least 4 months or?
I can't, I cannot grant that long. What I will do is this, however. The writ date in this case would be the 6th of February. Typically, a writ would issue after, I think the holiday's the 20th. So a writ would issue the 21st of February. So I'm more than doubling the time period, but I think under the circumstances, it's appropriate to give you at least a little bit more time. Thank you. Counsel, submit a judgment to the court for my signature.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Pine to Clover Lane versus Clarina Box.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Judge Carrie Zanin, P67390 on behalf of plaintiff.
Hello, Clarina Box.
Clarina Box. Okay, last time we were here, you said you were going to pay $1,000.
They won't take the partial payment.
Judge, it's not my understanding, Judge. I told the client to take the payment. It's my understanding from my manager that when we were here, you ordered Miss Box to have it paid on Monday, and she didn't take it in until this morning. And that's where the dilemma is. I've talked to my client about taking payment.
Hold on a moment.
My bad.
Hold on.
Okay.
So I get it. I know when I ordered it, she took it in this morning and they wouldn't take it.
Judge, I've talked to my client, so. You know I have. You know my position on that. You know I don't ever.
I have this, you've got to be kidding me. They're bringing somebody to court for non-payment of rent. Somebody comes in with money at whatever time, doesn't really matter.
I understand, Judge.
And they won't take it. They do know, and maybe just to help what you tell them, is that I can consider it a tender of rent that has been rejected. And then they lose that claim.
And we don't
Seems
want
like an
that,
extraordinary remedy. And I don't want to go there.
And I don't either, Judge. I can tell you though, without the with even if she made the $1,000 payment, she still would owe $3,017.04. So I guess we need to figure out how she's going to get that paid.
I know. But sometimes it's easier to figure things out when it's a molehill as opposed to a mountain. Okay. They're going to have to get it through their heads. I ordered them to take the money. If they want to, okay, here's what I want to do. Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I'm adjourning this matter out to the 27th at time.
Of
At 10
January?
a.m. At 10 a.m. 27th, next week.
Yes.
Take that $1,000 down them to take it to them today.
I'm getting in my car now.
And I dare them to reject it.
Okay.
Because then I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hampton to Clover Lane versus Pine to Clover Lane versus Clarina Box.
Attorney Elizabeth Ellison, P 82098 for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
Ms.
Hi,
Box here?
Clarina Bach. Yes, I am. Hello. Can you hear
Hello?
me?
Okay, there you are. Yeah, it wasn't lighting on my screen. There we go. Okay. And where are we in terms of amounts and payments? And
I went to, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, Ms. Box, you can speak.
I brung the $1,000 payment down there to them. I was unable to get any money out of my 401k because you have to wait a year before you can reloan, which I did not know that. I do have a payment of $500 for them, but I wanted to see if there was anything that we could work out. My rent is gonna be due again, and I just want to see if I can make some weekly payments.
do you get paid weekly, ma'am?
I do get paid. I do get paid weekly. So I will be giving them everything that I have every week. I just want to get caught up on my rent. Because I'm behind 2 months and rent's coming again. So
Counsel, what's plaintiff's position?
Your Honor, at this time, she owes $2,854.60 inclusive of court costs. Like
What
she
was
said,
that amount again?
$2,854.60. I can give you the breakdown, Your Honor. It's $2,691.60 for rent, $163 in court costs, bringing the balance to $2,854.60. Like she said, February is coming due and it's going to almost double that amount, Your Honor. At this time, we would be asking for a judgment. At this time, we're not willing to work out a payment plan because it is so far behind, Your Honor.
can I say something? Well, am I
Yes,
able
ma'am.
to speak? My rent went up when I renewed my lease. It went up $400 from $1,150 to $1,550. So it's been a struggle these last couple months. I am able to pay my rent. If I can make a weekly payment, pay you $1,000 every week, I can do that. My rent will be paid. February's rent will be paid. January's rent will be paid. I just need a couple of weeks to
hold
try
on
to
a
get the
minute.
money.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, 500.
Your Honor, she initially said 500, but then she said $1,000 a week. So I guess
I have $500 for you today, but every time I come and bring money down there, you guys always say you wait till whatever the judge says. So I didn't bring dollars because you always want to wait to see what the judge. I have $500 today.
You could put. Hang on. I got you. You got $500 today. On the 3rd, how much will you have?
$1,000. Like I said, my rent is $1,550.
No, I know. I hear you. I got it all. All right. Okay.
Yes.
So you got 5, and then all right. Here's what I'm going to do. What you get paid every week? You get paid on like Thursday, or when does your payment arrive?
It generally arrives. It's early Friday morning around 3 a.m. So Friday.
All right.
I bank at PNC.
Gotcha. Okay. Now everybody knows. All right. So
Sorry. Some banks give
No,
your
it's
paycheck
okay.
early. I'm not at one of those banks. I wish I was.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. What time are these? Yes.
11 o'clock.
All right. And Miss Box,
Yes, sir.
were you
Yes,
going
Your
to
Honor.
I mean, were you going to do, in your mind, were you going to be doing $1,000 every week?
Yeah,
Is
I'm
that
trying to work as much overtime right now as I can.
No, I hear you. I got it. I just want to know, I'm trying to, okay.
I don't want to be in a position, I have, like everyone else, we have children, you have things, nobody wants to be.
Ma'am, Miss Box, I get it. Okay. Every Friday, I get it. Trust me, I understand it. So here's what I'm going to do. You take the 500 down, you pay that to them today. I'm
Okay.
going to adjourn this to the 3rd.
Okay.
Your February rent will click in.
Correct.
But and I'm doing to February 3rd at 11. By that time, you're to take the $1,000 from your check to them, so that by the time you get here at 11, we should have had $1,500 paid between today and next week.
Yeah.
And then what's going to happen at that point, you're still going to be around that 28 figure.
Correct.
Or thereabouts. You're going to be right around that. But
Correct.
I think it becomes much easier to try to deal with that. And if you're going to do $1,000 every week, and I want to make sure you're telling me you can do that, you can be caught up on this by the end of February. So.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But we'll have to see what you do. Otherwise, I'm going to grant them a judgment for that amount. I would say to counsel that you can see where I'm going with this. I'd invite you to try to do a conditional dismissal with her so that your client has the judgment if they need it. But otherwise, we'll do it our way. All right?
Understand, Your Honor. We'll, if she makes the payments, we'll address that before the next hearing, or at the next hearing. Not a problem, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm sorry. I would like to ask the attorney, who can I speak to in the office when I go in there?
My client is here. They can you unmute yourself for one moment and tell her who she can speak to?
Yeah, hi, Clarina. It's Fatima. You can come to me.
Okay, all righty. I will be in there to see
All
you
right.
shortly.
And I know that there are issues sometimes with taking the money to the extent the plaintiff needs an order to take the money.
So we heard you, Your Honor. 500
Understood.
today, 1,000 on the 3rd. We got you.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And good luck, Ms. Box.
Thank you.
Pun to Clover Lane versus Raymond Mullins.
Attorney Elizabeth Ellison, PA 2098 for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Mullins, can you unmute?
Yes.
There you go. All right. State your name, sir.
Raymond Mullins.
All right. I don't know what I got an amount the last time, but how much is owing on his account?
$2,637.22 with court cost, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Jensen, I'm assuming are you here on Mr. Mullins' case?
Yes, I did hop in for this case to let counsel know, or I have represented Mr. Mullins twice previously. And I just have had contact with him and opened a case that will probably be an advice case at this point, but just glancing at what's going on and remembering what I know from the prior case, I did pull up like the paperwork that the Pines of Cloverline, my memory is that the VA covered like through the end of January for his rent. I'm looking at the paperwork that they sent in just because I have a copy of it from the prior case. Monthly payments of $1082 and they signed this on September 23rd, 2022. And just my recollection is that this was going to cover, I think, through the end of January, maybe even a part of February.
It covered him through.
I remember from the last case that it was going to cover, that the VA was going to do something that was going to cover a number of months out. I can't independently recall how far that was to be, but.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Yes.
This, what the VA gave covered December the 1st, he had a credit of $878.85, which didn't cover his whole monthly rent. So once they applied that, his balance that he owed in December, Your Honor, including his parking fees and was $957.15. And then you have January's rent included in those additional fees of water, waste, trash, and parking.
So what is
So
the
that's
rental
how-
rate being charged?
It's $1,479.
So when I look at the paperwork that, and I don't know exactly how to argue this, but or when I look at the paperwork that was signed by the landlord and given to the VA, the monthly rental rate was $1082. It was prepared along with a W-9, which the VA requires when they give funding to people.
Okay, so let me clarify that. The resident was put on a new lease in November of 2022 with a rate of $1479 instead of incurring a month-to-month rate of almost $3,000 per month, as he's not been on a lease since November of 21. His current lease expires 8/31/23. So $1479 is his rental rate as of November of 22. And previously, his month-to-month fee was going to be $3,000 because he wasn't in a lease.
So that's how all these folks are ending up. The rent is almost going up by, okay. So it's almost going up by 50%. I mean, so had the rent not basically gone up by 50%, he would have been, through the payments from the VA, covered.
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
I'm sorry.
Pardon?
No, Your Honor. I mean, that's not, November is when his rent increased. So what day was the VA?
The agreement was entered into before that, right?
Yeah, and Your Honor, basically I can sort of read what it is. It's just that the landlord, when they accept like a rental account statement, I see that, the landlord's identified delinquent rent, they've identified a monthly payment. So if the rate had stayed at the amount identified to the VA, I think it would have covered him through January, February, which matches my expectation. I don't know what to do with the fact that I think the case wouldn't have been able to be filed if that rate had been maintained.
All right. You might be better at this than I am, Ms. Jensen. If will the VA, do you know whether or not they will adjust it, or whether or not he can receive additional benefits given the circumstances?
I'm happy to reach out to them. I can't speak for them. I just don't know how this should unfold. I do know that, Housing Bureau for Seniors, I believe, someone is actually watching, a social worker from Housing Bureau is in the background on the Zoom call. So I don't know exactly how this should unfold. I think the legal question is, whether payment of 1082 as the rate could be sort of mandated to the landlord based on that form. I don't know that that's true or not. It's just the legal issue I'm seeing. Or could, and the fact that he signed a lease that, wasn't sent to me, was the lease signed when I still represented him. I don't know, Your Honor. These are just.
You're throwing a lot out there and you're not even representing him today. So you're making a lot of conjecture and you're not even representing him today. You're saying,
Well, she didn't have to make conjecture. What I've got okay, fine, counsel. But I'm going to tell you what I've got. Is I've got a veteran that had to struggle to get himself up to this point. He worked through, and I remember the case very well, and the record should reflect that Mr. Mullins was an attorney practicing in this community, and before that served this country and did a whole lot of other things. And everybody walked this case through, that there were representations made as to what his rent is, and then his rent goes up by 40%. And now I've got this gentleman sitting in the same darn spot. There are also medical issues, which the court became aware of through the other proceeding. So while she's throwing that out there, I'm going to give them a chance to represent him and at least make the inquiry, because nobody was of the understanding that when the original agreement was made with the Veterans Administration, that his rent was going to go up, because the idea would be to keep him housed at least through January or February.
Your Honor, if that's what the agreement was, I did not represent on the last case. So I don't have the documentation that Ms. Jensen has. So if she could send me the documentation.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity. Then I'm going to give you an opportunity to get it. You guys can look at it, and then everybody can look at this thing and decide whether or not what's happening to this gentleman is fair. What time? February 3rd, 11 a.m.
Ms. Ellison, could you put your email in the chat for me, please? Because I'll send it right over.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, if you said February 3rd, what time?
11 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Peninsula Place versus Ariel Brown.
Okay. Good morning, Your Honor. David Fancher on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good afternoon.
I'm not kicking a veteran out, not today. All right, what are we doing on this case? Courthouse case, Forrest Knoll versus, is it Doha Akuli?
Ready, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And where are we on this case?
Paul Hughes, P31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff. This is defendant's motion post-judgment, and I believe to stay a writ that had previously been filed. We show a balance of over $10,000. A motion was filed basically saying, I don't have any money to pay the rent.
Ma'am, go ahead with your motion.
Okay, Your Honor, I don't have rent and I'm not working. I don't know why they want me to pay this amount. I don't work. They already know that. And the case was closed a few months ago. I don't know why they're mailing me again about this. Please help me with this issue.
Your Honor, the last payment that the defendant has made was back in January of 2022.
I don't pay rent. My balance is zero. Ever since I got the home and the address.
It hasn't been zero. You were previously paying $42. The current rent is $12.98.
That I don't know of. I know it's zero and I have my papers in front of me. I don't pay rent.
Well, here's going to be the problem. December 9th, my file is marked that it was a recertification issue. I then adjourned it out to from December 9th to December 23rd. And ma'am, I have that the judgment was entered by default. So what that tells me is that there was a recertification issue and that the recertification process didn't get completed.
I did it late because I was sick at the time. And I couldn't fill it out. I was very sick for a few months.
Okay, but I guess what I'm getting at is that, and it's obvious that you might have done the recertification issue at some point because the balance, unless you paid 4,000, because the balance actually went down from the time of the judgment.
Okay,
And
but
so-
I can't pay any amount.
Hold on, ma'am,
Okay.
please.
Go ahead. I'm
That
sorry.
means my guess is, and makes sense, the recertification process at the point you started it finally got completed, your rent went back down, but you spent all this period in time basically at market rent, which is where the 10 is coming from, because you didn't recertify. Timely.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Have you spoken with anybody from legal services regarding this issue?
I tried to contact them. I didn't get an answer.
All right, ma'am, I'm just going to tell you this, because you're going to have to do something about this, because I can tell what this looks like. This is a recertification that didn't happen. And so legal aid has walk-in hours on Tuesday from 10 to 11:30.
Okay.
And on Thursday from 2 to 3:30. I'm going to give you
Okay.
one. I don't think you've got a grant. I mean, I think that is pretty much an agreement on that. I'm going
So
to
you
adjourn
want
it.
me to go to legal service and they're able to assist me from there?
I'm going to tell you that's going to be your best bet. But I'm going to give you the opportunity to go. Whether you go or not, it's going to be up to you. I've given you the walk-in hours to go down there and talk to them. All right.
Okay.
So I'll adjourn this out 1 week, but I need you to understand to the 27th, 2023 at 10 a.m. But I need you to understand, ma'am, my inclination is to deny your motion. And then it's going to be that you may be out. So you may get down there. And I'd suggest that you get down there and talk to them with some urgency.
Okay, where is this legal service at the location, please?
It's 15 South Washington in the city of Ypsilanti, downtown. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, we started off a little rough, but we ended great. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a great weekend, Judge. I'll see you next week.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Adam, I have look up.
Can we actually recall squad master?
Court recalls the case of Squad Nest versus Price.
Kathleen Brock, Your Honor, P 78404 on behalf of Squad Nest.
Robert Price.
Okay. Did everybody get what they needed?
I did receive Mr. Price's receipts.
Yes, I received the balance statement, but there's discrepancies on it.
Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor.
All right.
trying.
So, sir, well, let me ask this. Counsel, how much is, after you've gone through the receipts, how much is owed? Oh, you're muted, counsel.
Okay, after I have gone through the receipts, He $2,700 from his receipt is what's owed on the rent.
2,700.
Yes.
Mr. Price, when you
Yes,
go
sir.
through the ledger and the account and you subtract out what you claim are discrepancies, how much do you claim is owed?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
You froze. So how much do you believe you owe?
I believe I owe, 1,300. And actually, it's less than that, Your Honor, because they have me on my balance.
Sir, how much do you think you owe?
Well, they have my payments at 950 and it's supposed to be 925. And I don't know how long they've been doing that for because they only went back until October of 21 on the balance statement.
Okay. So let me ask you this, sir. Even if I went back 3 years and it's $25 a month, that would then lead to there being about 1,000, according to even your figures owed. So now my question is, when can you pay the landlord $1,000? And then we'll sort out the rest.
Oh, I could pay within 2 weeks. I could pay 1,000.
But then you're going to have another month's rent.
Yes, Your Honor. The reason that I'm even behind it all is because they didn't include that in my balance in the first place. The 2,300 in receipts I turned in, they didn't include 1,400 of it, so they didn't have the receipts. And
Sir,
yes,
no, really not the reason you're behind. But because even if they did everything you said they did, you would at least have the money you think you owe as we went through it today.
yes.
And you don't.
Well, I didn't know that I would have to pay it because they told me that the monies that I was giving them the whole time would go towards 3 months of rent after the SIRA. That was my understanding. I wouldn't, like I said, I didn't anticipate having to pay this.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Folks, gonna make my day, but we're gonna have to get to the bottom of it. I'll just have to do the math myself. But I'm not gonna keep going around in circles with you, Mr. Price. I'm gonna set this for a non-jury trial, January 27, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. That's gonna be in person.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In this matter, February 3rd, 2023 at 11 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Court calls the case of Lakestone versus Samantha Holbrook.
I'm here.
Your name
Samantha Holbrook.
and how much does she owe?
$4,821.65.
All right, I didn't get the first number, counsel. What was it?
$4,821.65.
And then costs are added on. Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, how do you intend on getting this paid?
To be honest, I don't intend on paying that right now. I've had multiple complaints with property management of black mold growing in my bathroom and my toilet flooding. They claim they fix it, but I have pictures of the black mold growing up the back wall. I've had issues with my furnace constantly leaking water all through my floor. My bathroom's a puddle of like it's horrible. It's like used toilet water all over my floor, my bathroom. They claim they fix it. They never
Okay,
fix
ma'am,
it.
are you
So-
going to get an attorney to represent you or file an answer alleging those deficiencies?
Actually, I just want to have like 30 days to get out. And then I will make
All right,
arrangements.
then
with the court.
what I may suggest, you need to contact counsel for the plaintiff. Try to see if you can arrange something where you can leave. I'll adjourn it out 1 week for you to do that.
Okay.
I'll adjourn it to February 3rd, 2023 at 11 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. False case of Celine Mobile Home Park versus Doyle Dietrich. Doyle Dietrich,
You're signed in. He's muted.
you're muted, Mr. Dietrich.
Am I in?
Yeah, there you are. State your name.
Doyle Dietrich.
All right, how much is owing on this?
Your Honor, my client is showing a balance of $5,766.24 and costs of $157.74 for a total of $59.23.98.
Mr. Dietrich, how do you intend on getting that paid, sir?
Did you receive a letter from my lawyer that I sent into the court as additional evidence?
For Mr. Babbitt?
Yes.
This letter, and I guess it wasn't sent to council, but it just says that he has an active Social Security case. They represented a matter, it says the case is active and currently in the appeal process. They don't expect, that they expect a hearing date in the next 6 months. Well,
Okay. That's about a month and a half old now. And the backlog to the court system for unemployment and Social Security is outrageous. There's really nothing I can do until I get the court date in my hands.
all right, you might want to talk to your attorneys about how you should proceed in this matter because plaintiff is not required to wait that 4 to 6 month period in time. But to give you an opportunity to do that, I'll set this for February 3rd, 2023, at 10 a.m. And
My
come
hands
back.
are tied, Your Honor. I can't proceed with this court case any further until I get a hearing date. And that is.
Say again?
That I can't proceed any further with my Social Security till I get a hearing date. And they owe me almost 3 years of back pay, and that's more than sufficient for this rent.
Sir, I understand that, but you're gonna have to talk to your attorneys or folks and maybe have your attorney contact Mr. Landman, see if you guys can work something out. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not, these cases here will not wait for Social Security to decide what they're gonna do.
Well, that's not my fault that the court system's so far behind it, they can't do nothing.
Sir, I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm just telling you where I am in this.
Well, I'm telling you that it is the court's fault, and I will contact my lawyer.
Okay. Very well. Have a great day. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Adam Farha versus Rania Tabata.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Adam here.
All right. This is Mr. Tabata. And the plaintiff here? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have Adam Farha is here. Okay, this is a non-payment of rent. Mr. Farha, how much do you say he owes?
He owes 8,400 in rent and 900 in late fees. 9,300 in total.
Over what period in time are those late fees?
3 months. And Your Honor, this is not
3
my
months?
tenant. 3 months.
3
correct.
months?
Correct.
I think, is this a residential property?
This is a residential property.
You can't be charging $300 in late fees unless you want to show exactly that, because or show exactly how that's related to the collection of rent.
I can waive the late fees as long as rent is paid.
Sir?
Yes,
Mr.
Your Honor.
Tabata, how do you intend to get this paid?
Okay, I've been here, Your Honor, for 3 years, and the city inspector came the first year and the second year and the third year, give them what need to be fixed in the house, and they're not fixing anything. All my window are leaking, all my door are leaking. I gotta have a heater in every single room to make the house heated, and I have a lot of stuff in the basement. They told me they're gonna move it within a week, and I still
All
have
right,
it.
sir. Are you going to get a lawyer to represent you or talk to legal services?
I believe so.
All right. So
Your Honor, I'm not.
Sir?
Sorry to interrupt, Your Honor. I'm not sure who this is. Aranya Tabata is my tenant. I don't know who. I've never seen this guy before.
Rana Sabata is right here. She's my wife, Your Honor.
Oh, well, is she here?
Yes.
I'm
Yeah, she's here, Your Honor.
I haven't received any maintenance requests.
What do you mean?
Yes, I do have it in.
Okay. All
have
right, folks,
it.
listen.
You gotta tell it all.
Everybody stop.
Man, you gotta tell it. I pay all my bill. You understand?
Who is that?
Judge,
All
that
right.
was Samsung SM.
Where? Everybody's a Samsung. All right, we'll figure out who it is. All right. Mrs. Tabata and Mrs. Tabata, I guess, you guys will get 1 week to prepare an answer alleging your claims. Mr. Farhar, you'll get a chance to answer. I guess you're claiming you didn't receive any maintenance requests. If there are issues regarding the city inspector and there not being a CO or COC or anything like that, you have to get down there and deal with that.
No problem, Your Honor. It is registered as a rental.
Okay.
It has passed every year it's been rented, so no problem.
Well, sir, I don't need you to argue your case. I'm telling you what I'm going to do.
No problem. Thank you.
February 3rd, 2023. Okay.
At 11.
At 11 a.m.
Okay.
You need to get down to legal services if you're going to have them represent you, Mr. and Mrs. Tabata.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
For the plaintiff.
Mr. Hamden, you'll have to unmute. No, wrong button. There you go. Mr. Hamden?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, how much is owing on this case?
Inclusive of court costs, $2,531.25.
And sir, how are you going to get that paid?
First, sir, I need to know what is that money regardless. Like, why do I owe that much money?
You have a ledger, Mr. What's his monthly rent?
His monthly rental rate is $1,841. I do not have his ledger.
All right. Sir, what
Yes, sir.
What I'm going to suggest that you do is you go to the Valley Ranch apartment offices, pick up a copy of your ledger,
I do
Okay.
have it. I have it. You have it in your folder. I send it to the court. You should look at it at page number 1, page number 1. I'm already
I see
paid.
page.
Yes, I'm already paid my rent all the way until next month. My rent for this month is not due until
When did you pay your February rent?
I'm not paying it yet, but my January is already paid.
I know. And most of this, if you're
So
is 1841. We're in February now.
yes.
So
No, I understand. I am not.
1841 of that 2500 is rent, and then you got court cost on that, and then I'm imagining that you got late fees.
Yes, sir. Well, that's what I'm trying to understand. What is late fee from, which is Valley Ranch failed 100 times to explain to me where these fees came from.
Which fees?
All of it. My rent was paid every month on time. I never was late one day on the rent. And I tried to ask them, why do you have late fees on me? And the first time they said, you have to pay 175. I sent a letter, which is, you should have it.
Okay, I can see that in June on the ledger that you've given me, you ended, well, May, you began June with $105.56 sewer charge.
All right. If you look at page number 7.
Page number 7?
Yes. That was when I paid my November rent. I sent them that letter, and I looked at all these fees they tried to charge me, and I asked them if somebody could call me and explain to me where these charges came from.
Okay, you have a
Nobody.
convenience fee for using an electronic service. You
Well,
have,
yeah,
there
but
looks like a $50 late fee, or there's an auto charge for, and then there's your water and sewer and
yes.
everything. And even
Yeah.
according to this, you had, all right.
But all the money, my rent is 1841. My sewerage is water. My water is $60.
All right. I'm not going to go through this every little bit with you wondering what you're being charged with. I can see what you're being charged for, but you're not listening to me. I'll just set this for non-jury trial. February 22nd, 2023, 9 a.m.
Yes.
9 a.m. in person.
Judge, I'm sorry. The bench trial date should be February 22nd,
What did I say?
23rd.
Okay. February 22nd, 2003, 9 a.m. in person.
Judge, may I ask Mr. Hamdan to chat me his email address if he's capable of doing that?
The Valley Ranch office, they do have that, and I guess
I'll get it from them.
Okay, I could text it to you. If I guess is your phone number on the page? Is it can receive messages, text message?
Mr. Hamdan, I just chatted my email address. I don't know if you can see that or if you can pull that from the chat function on your phone.
Get it from the office and you guys talk, and I don't have to be here.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Valley